These are opinions, but I'm taking this from the News Hawks, that is an online publication in Zimbabwe. Strategic on why rather Mnangagwa prefers Rt Sibanda over retired Chiwenga. It's actually a lengthy submission, and I will be actually reading it for you. It's quite too long, but it's worthy. Sometimes you have to hear or to actually air other people's views, and this is what I'm simply doing today. Greetings, and I've done it so many times. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the subscribe button. So according to Newsworks, it says, as President Emmerson Mnangagwa maneuvers through a complex and volatile political landscape and his contentious 2030 term extension bid ahead of the ruling party's critical elective Congress next year, his succession plans have become a central focus of ZANU-PF and national politics. For the past 3 years, the Newswalk says has been hearing that Mnangagwa prefers Sibanda, a retired Zimbabwe Defense Forces commander, as his successor from a personal, political, and strategic perspective. Internal sources say Mnangagwa favors Sibanda over Vice President Constantino Chiwenga, Vice President Kembo Mohati, multi-millionaire tycoon Udawashe Takwirei, or even Chris Mutswangwa, for many reasons. Chiwenga and Takwirei have been maneuvering in public to position themselves in the succession race, but Takwirei, who has money but no political capital, has denied that he has any presidential ambitions. Mohati has never expressed any ambition and is generally not considered a contender. In fact, Mohati wants to retire and has been pushing to do so for the past couple of years, mainly on old age and health grounds. He feels tired and that it is time for him to rest. That has created an opening for Sibanda. Besides ZANU-PF and Zimbabwe's ethnic and regional politics, tribal political calculus puts Mohati at a disadvantage. Mutswangwa has completely avoided fielding himself in the race despite his fierce attacks against Chiwenga, his relative and nemesis. In this succession matrix, it has emerged that Mnangagwa wants Sibanda, for various reasons, to have a friendly and reliable successor to protect him, his family, and interest after power, someone from his regional ethnic axis, and a person with liberation struggle credentials. Sibanda, a decorated Zipra and National Army commander, is close to Mnangagwa. He has proven reliable to him, especially after thwarting the 2019 and March 2025 coup plots to keep him in power. Chiwenga and his military-backed ZANU-PF wanted to oust Mnangagwa in 2019 and 2025, but were stopped in their tracks by Sibanda as army commander. It is recorded in Mnangagwa, a biography, Emmerson Mnangagwa, authored by Eddie Cross and published in 2021, that Chiwenga tried to seize power in January 2019 while the president was away in Russia and Eastern Europe, but was stopped by Sibanda. Last year, during the Blessed Geza phenomenon, Sibanda advised Mnangagwa to quickly remove Zimbabwe National Army Commander, Lieutenant General Anselm Senyato, and make him sports minister ahead of the planned March 30 uprising. The plan was to rein in the army and allow a popular uprising against Mnangagwa as the military stood by or joined the people like what previously happened in Sudan or Madagascar, among other countries. This makes Sibanda, who retired in November last year, a dependable ally for Mnangagwa. He also fits the regional ethnic profile, an advantage and a disadvantage. This brings proximity and loyalty. While it fuels the embers of ZANU-PF and Zimbabwe's tribal politics, deeply influential in the succession matrix, Sibanda is from Gokwe in Mnangagwa's Miklan's political stronghold, and he is widely regarded as an ethnic Karanga with connections to minorities in that area. The Shangwe are the traditional inhabitants of the Gokwe area, which is Shona, Ndebele, and Tonga ethnic influence. Sibanda is said to be connected to Mnangagwa through their Shumba totem, common among Karangas. His Sibanda surname, as a result of Ndebele cultural influence, is derived from the Shumba totem. Some members of the Mnangagwa family, which had Ndebele influence, as narrated by the president himself, whose name at birth was Nhlupego, from which Mikli name Tambutso is derived, use Sibanda as their surname. Nhlupego is a Ndebele Zulu noun meaning suffering, poverty, and severe hardship. Tambutso in Shona. Mnangagwa has told the story of how he changed his name from Nhlupego to Tambutso, and how he then personally named himself Emerson. So Sibanda fits Mnangagwa's preferred regional ethnic profile. He is Karanga from Miklands and loyal. Besides, he is from a Zapu Zipra background, making him acceptable to Ndebelers as a replacement for Mohati. This is important to maintain a resemblance of unity through the 1987 ZANU-ZAPU Unity Accord. But you know, the people of Matabeleland are not recognizing that nonsense. Mnangagwa wants to tell ZANU-PF that it is time for a ZAPU-ZIPRA cadre to lead that will find resonance within his ZANU-PF faction, his Miklands and Masungo political stronghold, and the Matabeleland region. Sibanda is the only meaningful counterweight to Chiwenga, from whom he has been effectively checkmating for Mnangagwa since the 2017 coup. You know, the problem with this article, no, I need to actually make my point here. You know, when it comes to Zimbabwe succession matters, what this analysis is actually doing, that is not what is followed. In Zimbabwe, every succession has been managed by the military. Naming provinces that they will vote and stuff, it has never worked. Maybe it will be the starting point. The plan is to replace Mohati with Sibanda and then maneuver him to the top gradually and systematically over some months, leading to a Congress next year. Once he becomes vice president, anything is possible from there. Mnangagwa first tried to maneuver Sibanda into the ZANU-PF Politburo during the ruling party's 2023 annual conference in Gweru before his appointment a few days ago. He was thwarted on constitutional grounds since he was still a serving ZDF commander. Since then, he has been trying to explore various ways to elevate him. Only last month, Mnangagwa split the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water, and Rural Development into two, forming the Ministry of Lands and Rural Development and the Ministry of Agriculture, Mechanization, and Water Resources Development. Although the restructuring was officially aimed at improving efficiency, it was a political move to accommodate Sibanda as land minister. Instead, Mnangagwa eventually appointed Evangelist Peter Haritatos as minister. Ensias Masuka is agriculture minister. It was felt that Sibanda needed a higher launch pad and should start at a higher level, such as defense minister or vice president, a plan which is on track. Oh. In old ZAPU and ZIPRA political circles, Sibanda is seen as a better replacement for Mohad than Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Mutenda, who is also ZANU-PF Secretary General, Opet Mpofu or Stembi Sonyoni, because he remained loyal than the first two who defected to ZANU-PF in times of trouble in the 1980s. Nyoni is a political lightweight. That is the test of loyalty. ZAPU and ZIPRA surviving cutters like in Sibanda. While he does not come from Matabeleland region geographically, Sibanda's history crosses paths with the region. He learned in Dete, Matabeleland North, and worked in ZAPU ZIPRA, which has deep roots there, creating a constituency for him and a circle that supports his bid. His wife, Mercy Mukobe, also spent some time in Matabeleland South at a younger age. Mercy was among the students taken from Manama High School in Gwanda District, Matabeleland South, in 1977 to join the Liberation War. She was taken together with Albert Ngulube, MP for Beitbridge East and Matabeleland South, Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, the late Foreign Minister Sibusiso Moyo, retired Air Force of Zimbabwe Air Marshal Alson Moyo, and Chiratidzo Mabua. Ex-Youth Development, Indigenization and Economic Empowerment Minister, and Mberengwa South MP. Having spent 45 years in the army, Sibanda has a solid military foundation, security network, and constituency, which he can convert into political capital if he gets Mnangagwa's support to cultivate a social base. Following his appointment to the Politburo, Sibanda has emerged part of contenders, widely seen as Mnangagwa's preferred successor. This preference is not merely personal, but a calculated political strategy designed to navigate internal party conflicts, secure the military loyalty, and ensure the survival of Mnangagwa's factional interests. The main motive behind Sibanda's appointment at the moment is to create a powerful counterweight to Chiwenga, who is engaged in a fierce succession battle with Mnangagwa. Chiwenga, Chiwenga, who is widely seen as Mnangagwa's main rival for power, is currently leading the race. Chiwenga was part of the Zanla High Command during the liberation struggle. He was in the army for 37 years. He commanded ZDF for 14 years and remains influentially in the army. Chiwenga was pivotal in elevating Mnangagwa to power during the 2017 coup, having played a commissariat role in Zanda during the struggle. He is also a political operator in his own right and has over the years built a political base, although it remains weak and undefined. Chiwenga has also positioned himself as the real opposition to Mnangagwa from within by challenging him head-on, while filling in the gap left by Nelson Chamisa in the broader opposition front. By bringing Sibanda, who also holds a deep military influence, into the Politburo, Mnangagwa is trying to dilute Chiwenga's monopoly over the political military legitimacy within the party. Sibanda's presence serves to keep Chiwenga off balance and prevent him from consolidating power within security establishment. Mnangagwa's strategy is a classic example of authoritarian elite management, often referred to as a coup-proofing amid political brinksmanship. By bringing a highly decorated and respectable military figure like Sibanda into the decision-making party structure, Mnangagwa is attempting to prevent another military intervention. Sibanda ensured that during his time at the helm of the military, while keeping the army loyal to him and to Mnangagwa. The ZDF commander currently is General Emmanuel Matatu, Sibanda's former Zipra ally and close. The Zimbabwe National Army, a key component of the defense forces, is commanded by Lieutenant General Walter Tafumane, a Mnangagwa loyalist. Sibanda is viewed as a loyalist to Mnangagwa, contrastingly to Chiwenga, and the political move, Politburo appointment confirms that. Further, by managing the retirement and career of the military top brass, including carefully replacing intelligence and police chiefs, Mnangagwa has ensured that key security institutions are aligned with his interest. Sibanda has historical credibility and political legitimacy. His main capital, he is respected within the security sector as a professional soldier. This adds legitimacy to the transition, as he is not viewed merely as a civilian politician, but a seasoned military cadre. So his background, let me go back. So his background offers unique benefits to Mnangagwa's succession plan. He is a highly decorated and respected soldier with impeccable Liberation War credentials, having served as a commander in Zipra and the National Army, engaging in high-profile peacekeeping missions for 45 years. He is also suitable for ethnic and regional balance. By elevating a former ZAPU Zipra figure, Mnangagwa can claim to be satisfying the requirements of the 1987 Unity Accord, which requires one of the two vice presidents to be from the former ZAPU, while actually pursuing his agenda. Sibanda is a strategic figure to manage the succession transition. His appointment into the Politburo is part of a broader, deliberate plan to move loyal security personnel into political roles and stabilize the party, buffeted by succession infighting. This strategy has been developed over the years, with Mnangagwa earlier attempting to appoint him in 2023, which was delayed by constitutional challenges. As Mnangagwa navigates the succession path and his 2030 agenda, Sibanda represents a safe, loyal option that keeps his option open and prevents Chiwenga's aggressive campaign to take over. In summary, Mnangagwa's preference for Sibanda as a successor is not a coincidental choice, but a strategic maneuver designed to counter Chiwenga, secure the loyalty of the military, and ensure that the transition of power occurs on Mnangagwa's terms to protect his interest. By elevating a decorated soldier, Mnangagwa aims to maintain a stable, loyal, controlled, and secure regime that perpetuates his influence well after he leaves political office. Well, that is according to News Hawks. So it's good sometimes as a channel to read out other people's views. Yes, there is an element of, I learned something there that I strongly believe in. And on the next live broadcast, let me just actually empty out what I believe also with this, having read this submission and also having researched. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to subscribe. You can also financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Okancuba Mhlabane is signing off. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet on